Hey, ladies. Welcome to this week's episode of the Power of Women podcast. I'm your host, Tori J. And
It is I, Taste of the Star Seed. I'm actually eating, so I'm trying to finish.
enjoy, girl, enjoy. This week, ladies, we about to jump on in. We're talking about what do you bring to the table? And I'm not talking to you, ladies. What do men bring to the table? I'm asking y'all, what do they bring?
Yeah, that's a
What
powerful
do
question,
men bring to the table? Because I've heard it. I've heard women
in
ask that
relation to
question a
us all the
lot,
time.
all the
And I
time,
hate it.
because your value lies in what you can do for them, not in who you are as a being, in what you offer to the world, and what it is that God put you here for. Because obviously, God gives us all a purpose.
Right.
But what is it that men actually bring to the table?
Yeah, no, it's a very good question. And I think, again, it leads back to the projection. You see that? Because the fact that we have these conversations, first of all, let me just state, and everybody knows that, well, I hope that you guys know by now that when we make titles, it's just to, engage. We don't necessarily have that. We come from a different perspective. So we're not doing what do you bring to the table? Because again, when guys ask me that question, I'm like, you can go to hell and burn to ashes.
Right. Don't ask me that.
Don't ask me that. You got an absolute no. So ladies, if any man asks you what you bring to the table, first and foremost, walk away. Red flag. In fact,
red flag, run.
Cut it off. Because clearly he's already there's nothing to explain. Just be like, okay, that's fine. I'm seeing you later.
You should see my value. And if you don't see my value, then I need to get up and walk away.
And you walk away. And you absolutely did see my value. This is why you've come to speak to me. But now you want to put the onus on me no, absolutely not. Yeah. But, we established that men are master projectors. So when they're asking you that question, it's oftentimes just to kind of mask the fact that they bring nothing to the table, like you said, apart from, what do they always bring? The one thing that they bring to the table, and even that they complain about.
I was going to say money. Is it money?
Period. Money. Of course, it's money.
And some of them can't even bring that right.
And some of them, in fact, they want to share the 50-50 with you. With the money. And it's like, okay, you now want to do independence 50-50. Are you sharing everything else with me?
No, I want to do
the
50-50
housework,
with
the emotional stability.
Yeah, but you do everything else. Yeah. We both gonna work and pay bills, but you also gonna clean up, serve me,
cook
ride
for me,
me
serve
like a porn
star,
my
days.
Take care of the kids, clean this house.
Everything. Don't you dare talk back to me as well. Care how I feel, be emotionally be needy for me, baby, oh my God, you need. But we're being equal. So, and you don't have any money. So we need to split the bills too. Yeah. The only thing you have to bring is money. And the reason you even bring money is because the patriarchy has created it in that way they've given you that as your only worth. Right. Yeah. And the reason you even bring the money is because I saw a TikTok on Instagram and the lady was like, when a guy tells her, she was on a pole, which I loved. I think the message was even more powerful. She was pole dancing. And she said, when guys say to me, pay 50-50. Okay, close the wage gap first. Close the gender wage gap. First of all, stop harassing women when they go to work and they want to work.
Right.
Give women the same opportunities to make money as you. First of all, you don't even give us that.
Yeah.
You've created a system where you make a lot more money than us and you make it quicker. Yeah. And you're even heralded for making money. Oftentimes when a woman has money, she's looked at as she hates men. How dare she be taking her own life into her hands and making her own money? Men find her untouchable when she has money most of the time. They'll be like, no, it's because she has money. She thinks she can talk to me anyhow. No, you just can't. She's not less than you. She's not under you.
Not at all.
So she can talk to you how she wants to talk, money or no money. Do you know what I mean? But it's so the patriarchy has created that for you already, right? And you can't even, that's the only thing you have to do. Because you say protect and provide. You barely protect me because you don't protect me from you even. Right. So you don't protect me. Oftentimes, if you go to a restaurant or issues, it's the woman in front. Excuse me. Women are natural warriors. We are really the ones who get things done. Men like to avoid confrontation unless it's with us, unless it's with your spouse.
Yeah.
You guys don't know how to, or a kid. Yeah.
Anybody
you don't know how
that's
to
being
conflict
weaker
resolute
than them physically.
right?
Yeah.
So you barely protect anyway. The only thing you are supposed to do, quote unquote, is provide. And provide doesn't even also just mean finances. It means so many other things that you are so completely incapable of doing.
Yeah.
The only thing you bring to the table is money. And you think that that is the be all and end all, the money.
You know what? It's interesting because I've heard a few men online and on TikTok, I've seen these conversations of men talking about that the things that women provide or bring to the table, you know, they can pay for it. They can outsource for those things. And I've also heard a lot of men say things like, you know, a lot of the women today, you know, they're so different. You know, they don't bring anything else to the table. They don't have anything to offer, you know, and then they like to say, you know, we aren't getting married at the same rate and marriages aren't the same today. But I'm like,
no more suffer.
Well, think about it though. Think about it though. First of all, marriage, generally speaking, obviously benefits the man more than it benefits the woman, right? One. And two, if women today you're saying are different and they're not getting married as much or they're getting divorced more and they're initiating divorces more, then that means that women are obviously not happy. See, the difference is when you're comparing women today versus women back in the day is that although we still are oppressed and we still are fighting for things like you said, we're citizens now without being married to you. We now can own bank accounts. We now can work our jobs.
So we can actually play sports
I'm
now.
not forced to be in this relationship with you for the survival of myself, for the survival of my children. Women have the luxury of being able to offer those things to themselves. If you can't provide something other than money, like who are you spiritually?
Right.
Where are you mentally?
Right.
Because the money, I got that.
Yeah.
You know, so we can get that.
Yeah. Men falter, and it's the experience that I have. They falter when they have to show their character and bring something else to the table, right? Because even I say this because I think I mentioned it with regards to even marriage, even though we're talking about money right now, but even in marriage, when they try to talk to me and I say to them, I'm not interested in getting married. And because marriage is something that is kind of dangled as the prize, they don't know what else to bring. They don't know how to approach me. They kind of get lost.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, okay, I don't want your money. I don't want to get married to you. Okay, so tell me why you're here then. You know, why are you here talking to me? What is it that what do you bring to the table now? Right. Apart from money and apart from the promise of marriage and a relationship? Because obviously they always say, society says you must unionize with a man. Yeah. So they're like, they just have to be a man. Just being a man is enough. And I'm here and I'm telling you, I'm going to validate you and make you worthy in the eyes of society by marrying you or by being your boyfriend, by union. And I'm saying to you, nah, that doesn't make me worthy. I already know my worth. So what is it that and they always stumble, bro. They always falter. Like they bring no anything else. Yeah. That literally feeds my soul. No. Like that makes me feel good. That makes me zero. In fact, this is why it's actually more stressful. I was going to say more stressful. Yeah. You actually ruin my peace because now, thank God. And I hope that all women can continue to grow and work on themselves because it's so beautiful, ladies. Honestly, the pain that we have felt and we feel over them and being with them, when you start to take charge of your own happiness and your own self-love, honestly, it is so sweet. It is sweeter than anything you can imagine. Anything that it can give you is so sweet. So now you stop settling for bullshit from them, because on my own, I'm so amazing. I have a great time. I look after myself. I buy myself nice things. You know, I mean, I need you. So if you're coming into my life, you need to come into my life with substance. And I find that a lot of them lack substance. And I even in conversations with them, when they be trying to have conversations with me, because I think after a few conversations, you're going to know that, not even a few, maybe like after 5 minutes, maybe when you make one stupid joke, because that's what they do. They tend to just be like, let me just make a dumb joke to enter them.
Maybe so, real dumb.
by the time I ask deadpan you and give you a very straightforward answer, you now realize, oh, okay, okay, I need to bring a bit of intelligence to this conversation. I need to bring substance. And you see them start to panic, like, okay. And then they try and drop their mask of, but they just cannot reach the level because they have nothing else to bring.
Yeah.
Like, so men, you're always asking ladies, what do we bring to the table? But ask yourselves. In fact, I'm not even asking you because I don't really give a damn. Yeah, but what do you, before you ask somebody else what they bring to the table, what do you bring to the table?
Yeah.
Truly, minus money. Don't forget the money, because money really doesn't count. Like it just, and it does, but it's literally
let's X out protecting as well. And the reason why I want to say that is because, like you said earlier, most times we need protection from them. When women generally need protection, it's from typically them, from another man. And if we're needing protection from men and you're the ones protecting us, then obviously there's a disconnect somewhere. Like you are not the man that's watching your friend beat his girl and you're standing up. That is still protection.
Exactly.
So I want to X out both of those. So what else do they provide?
What do you bring? Yeah, because that's the only thing. I think every time I see conversations and they say it so much with chest. So what do you bring as a woman? And the woman would say, if she says that she brings emotional stability, love, care, no, that's not good enough. Okay. If she says, well, I have like 3 degrees, I make 7 figures a year,
then they're intimidated.
We're not talking about that. Yeah. So what is it that so you know what? Just live your lives for yourselves, ladies, because honestly, answering them and start to ask them, what do you bring to the table? And don't allow them to tell you that they bring money or they protect and provide.
As soon as they ask me that, my hand would be up. Up. I'd ask for my check and I would go.
I'm gone. If I answered that question, they didn't burn me wrong. I told you, to be fair, actually, I was in a situation, give you guys a little story time. I was in a situation, months back, everybody went out to dinner. There was a few girls and a few guys, and the conversation was already a bit like, you know, I could tell that the guys weren't really up there at all with the things that they were saying. They weren't of a certain depth, so it was quite trivial. But then one of my friends asked a question to the guy, so what do you do, how do you let a girl know that you like her? You know, what do you do? And I think he felt a bit thrown under the bus and he didn't know what to say. But he answered it. And then after answering it, his answer was, he answered it by saying, and this at the time, the guy was trying to speak to me, you know?
Yeah.
So he answered it by saying that he does everything that the girl wants. Anything she wants, he does. He's very attentive to all her needs, you know, anything is all about her. So obviously I'm quiet and I'm just looking at him. And I'm thinking to myself, so I think I responded at the time and I said, you know, but that's a bit problematic for me because I don't need you. I need you to be yourself and show yourself. It's not about what I want and this, just be yourself so I can tell your true colors, you know, and like, I don't need anybody so invested in me. And he couldn't understand anyway. He was just like, because I'm seeing that as a raw insecurity and an instability in your mind already from when you're saying it's all about me. No, that's not even, you're not even being genuine. Anyway, so he answered the question. And then obviously a man being a man, he couldn't help it. So he was like, well, everybody else has to answer the question too. And then that question to me kind of sounded like, what do you bring to the table? But in a different, you know, it's the same context, but in a different. So everybody went around the table and was saying what they brought. And obviously it was my turn. And I literally thought to myself, kind of, God dang rubbish is this. I mean, I'm going to have to answer this question. And I didn't want to, but I also, sometimes I guess I find myself, you know, not playing the part, but sometimes I won't voice certain things in a certain way because I know that the crowd I'm with might not understand. So I went ahead and answered the question, and I'll tell you how I answered the question. I started by saying, I said, well, I don't treat whoever I like, they're just going to get me as I am because I am nice. I try. Right? One of my goals in life, and I try to just extend grace to people in general and to be nice to people in general, irrespective of the relationship that they have with me. Because I don't believe that you should treat people nicely based off of what you think you can get from them or how, you know, the proximity, you know, just be nice in general. So therefore, whoever I am around will get nice tests, just how I am with everybody. I'm not going to start performing theatrics for you, not at this stage in my life. That was back in the day. I do not do that. So anyway, that's how I answered that question. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Because I do not, once you start to ask me that, I'm like, yeah, no, I don't. I'm not.
Questions like that are immediately turn me off.
Majorly.
Because it's this constant need that people have, both men and women.
We must prove ourselves.
Yeah, well, you have to show that you're this thing, or you're
that
this
you're
person,
worthy.
that you're likable. You know,
that's sickening.
Look at the things that I would do. You know, if you chose
and there's
me,
so much trauma for the divine feminine.
It's like being a pageant queen or
king. It is being in a pageant and being chosen.
Like answering these questions so gracefully. Like, this is and why then, you should like
me. She's amazing. And I'm like, when you're given the history of women, the oppression of us, our history in general is such a powerful history, and there's so much trauma in the lineage of the divine feminine and just the feminine in general, right? So you tell us that we're free and women can do what they like. Women complain too much. Life is not so hard for you. But you still open your mouths and tell us, well, what do you bring to the table? It's disgusting. It's like, and you have to see how disgusting that question is as well, because it's like a white person saying to a black person, you know, I always compare racism and the patriarchy because they literally are fundamentally the same structure. They will say to the black person, well, okay, fine, you're here, you're saying that you're great, you know, what do you bring to the table as a black person? Imagine somebody asking you that. So as if to say, whatever it is you bring to the table is now what determines your level of worth, especially to a group of people who have been told for not the beginning of time, because we used to rule, but they've been told for the past couple of centuries that they are worthless. And that their worth is only determined by what they can bring for you and what they can do for others, never themselves. As a whole person, she's worthless. So when you're not asking women that, it's just so absurd. You're continuing the oppression without realizing. Maybe some of them do realize, but I refuse to be party to that, because you're not going to oppress me anymore, because I choose to be a free human being. So if you believe that, just don't talk to me, I beg. And oftentimes, it's not even oftentimes, 100% of the time, which I'm actually trying to change this year. The problem is I haven't found anybody that I want to talk to. But like 100% of the time, and a man's talking to you, he has come up to you. He has seen you. He has studied you. He has sought you out and said, I want to chat to this one. So you've now come to talk to me and you're asking me what I bring to the table. You should have known what I brought to the table before you come and spoke to me. In fact, you knew this is why you came and spoke to me.
Right.
It's not my job. I'm not proving anything to you. Get lost.
And come into a relationship without a dime to her name and
boss up your life, upgrade you anything, differently,
completely change your life.
Completely,
well, your whole swag
it.
Is different because of me.
Your whole, please, everything is
completely different. Everything is different.
Your mindset is different.
You are
the
me.
way you dress, the way you think, literally, because you know our energy is just so powerful. It's always an upgrade. Men always know that when you have a woman, so it's like, when you have a good woman in your life, shut up.
Yeah.
Are you a good man? When you have a woman in your life, treat her properly and see what she does. If you're not treating her in a nice way, of course you're going to be saying, when you have a good woman in your life, are you a good man?
Yeah, that's what they always say. The most powerful men, some of the most powerful and successful
have
men
a woman behind them,
financially are married. Most of them are married.
Yeah, you have to be. Yeah. Because obviously you know that the woman's mind is so powerfully strategic.
They're in that position, in fact, because of
her every single time. And it's crazy because they say these things to us. It's just how you know that. It's all mind control, because they say it to us, while simultaneously telling us that we're crap, and they do it from young. Whereas if you are, when you do now become self-aware and you do now start to ask questions, you now start to realize, wait a minute, if you're saying that behind every successful man is a woman, then you know that the success is actually as a result of the woman. And then why is it that more women are not leading? Why is it that the woman is not in front? And why is it the man? Why is it that you're just stealing my ideas? Because that's basically what you're doing. Like, you know, so you have to start asking yourself that question. And women don't, they tend to believe, that's why they say stuff like, I'm the neck and he's the head. I wish you would be the head. Like, do you know what I mean?
You're not even I'm in the same neck, body.
Like, I'm the head and you're the neck. What are you talking about?
He's a complete different species.
Person to you. Like, you are your own head.
Period.
You are your own head. And he's using your head for his benefit.
Right.
And that's how oftentimes you'll hear men say, like, I don't know. I know it's worldwide, but I think it's more prevalent. Well, I can't say it's more prevalent in Africa, because even Saudi Arabia, I think recently did a new law that women are still not allowed to work at all. And in fact, they said that any woman who had been working, was it Saudi? It was recently, I saw it, I read it, and I was like, oh my days. Women who had been working, when I was sent home, and their positions had to be filled by a male family member. You know, like, even as I'm saying it, my bones feel disgusting, because I can't, the level of oppression is too much. So they sent all the women home, said, you're not allowed to work. Get out. Women are not supposed to be working. If you want to keep your job, send a male family member, let him work in your place instead. Do you know what I mean? And it's so
you know why that's so triggering for me, right? It's because even when a woman is working, hell, she be paying all the bills.
All the bills.
So many women are in such oppressive, abusive, and toxic situations. And there is this, like, I've heard men have these conversations about, like, even when a woman is making more money than you, you're still the man. You're still the leader.
That's what I mean.
And it's like, we're not,
what are
like,
you leading?
This isn't a business. This isn't an organization. You know what I mean? I know people like to say
Their
that marriages
values
are
based on how they
businesses
can
and things
upset
like
us.
that.
No.
It's like,
How they can
no.
oppress us.
It's like everything that you want to do is to be in power of and in control of and over me. You feel like you have power because I don't. And that's the only way that you feel validated. Period. So it's like you feel like putting yourself in this position where you can say that, you know, my worth or my value is less than yours and you're the one that's in charge and you beat your chest. It's like, it's really a problem. So when you have, and it's heightened, it's magnified when you now add to that women that are not in a position to now have their own money, because you're already in those positions when you have your own money. So now when you don't have your own money, and a man knows that there's this imbalance in power financially, especially, he can control absolutely everything you can do. So when you have these countries where a woman can't freely move about, she can't leave, she can't, you know, go to certain places without a man there, she can't open her own bank account, or, you know, some places a woman can't even drive. So it's really absurd to me when I hear these things, because I'm like, it is so scary when you're actually in those positions as women, because you can get beat on anyhow. Literally, your life is dangling in this person's hands. You do get. And it's funny. I don't know if you saw this TikTok video. It was some guy. He was trying to hit on this girl, and they was out at a bar or something. And
I saw that. Yeah.
And the way he hit on her was like he showed her his bank account.
Yeah.
Girl, isn't this like, boy? So you are, like I said,
if she had not done
boring.
it, she would have been a whore. She would have been a gold digger.
If
she asked for money now, she's a gold digger. But you came to her. That's literally your first approach, was to show you're miserable. Yeah. In fact, do you know how much was in his account? I think it was like $90,000. Yeah, cool, good for you. But again, a lot of us have big goals. You know, let it be a couple of million. You fool. Like, really? You're showing me $90,000 in your account? Is that what you're showing me?
Let it be 8 or 9 figures. Girl, he gonna sit over here and show his little raggedy bank account and and think that like you don't even have a line.
Nothing.
You didn't have, there's no charm.
Nothing.
You know, no personality.
But where
no charisma. Yeah, but you just want to show your bank account like that was supposed to speak for you.
And these times, you know that the ones that do that, he would never give her money. What he would do was buy himself. That's how they, them ones. They buy themselves all the nicest things, and you're there like they're pauper and they're slave. They'll be like,
yeah.
And then they have you there on the notion that they kind of feel like, you feel like they might give me, or they'll give you breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
Those ones, breadcrumbs. Yeah. You're not even making my life better, because
you're not even that guy that wants to like, that wants to spoil me, quote unquote, or do these things for me. Yeah. No.
You want me to just be intimidated and oppressed by what you supposedly bring to the table.
I'm never impressed. I don't care what kind of car you driving and how much money you got in your bank account. That stuff does not impress me, because it's not mine.
No, literally, it's not mine at all. Is it benefiting me? No. So I could care less. Yeah.
Girl,
I do. The question is always very problematic to me, and men need to start asking themselves, before you ask a woman, what do you bring to the table? Yeah. And just for your life in general, like, I keep talking to men. I've been talking to men for a while. I don't normally like to talk to men. I like to talk to women. But, just ask. No, it's the women I'll say to the... If a man ever asks you, first of all, leave the table. But then, leave. But as you on your own, maybe, like, what does he bring to the table? Like, what does he bring to this so-called table apart from money, supposedly? Like, what else is he giving to you? You know, is he making you feel... He doesn't even have to make you feel emotionally secure. Like I was saying the other day, right? You're not really responsible for my happiness. You're not. I control my own happiness. It comes from inside me. I refuse. Well, external factors do affect my happiness, but the goal is to not allow it affect my happiness. That's my ultimate goal. But you sure as hell will not be bringing me pain. If I'm in charge of my own happiness, fine. I've not given you that problem. You're not in charge of it. But don't you dare bring me more stress and more pain or emotional insecurity. Like if you find yourself that, because you're emotionally stable most of the time until we unify with them. Then when we start to unify with them, they start to use your mind and your soul as a game.
Girl.
A narcissist game of playtime. They just time to play with your emotions.
Girl,
and your
after
feelings.
every relationship, you got to sit up here and find yourself again. You done got lost again. Like, damn. Who am I? I forgot.
I don't even know. Goddamn, I got lost in his ass again.
Yeah,
there we go.
But you know the difference. It's crazy because the difference is like we get with them and they're so toxic and they literally have nothing else to offer. They just take to whereas we don't know who we are and we've become worse. Whereas they, a lot of times, most times
pump up.
We've elevated them to tremendous levels. Yeah, you know what I mean? And it benefits them financially.
I call them energy leeches.
Yeah.
Because you're taking my energy. That's what it is. I'm getting weaker and you're getting stronger as I'm getting weaker.
Yeah. I think it's about time. I think it's about time, ladies. We have to really start just asking ourselves, like you said, when you're dating or you're out there, you're meeting people and you're enjoying yourself, enjoy your life and be free. And if somebody's approaching you, make sure that they are worth your while and really analyze what they bring to the table. And you don't even have to ask them that.
Don't ask them, just do it yourself. Exactly.
You can see what they bring to the table.
Yeah.
What substance have you offered me? What don't I already have in my life that you are now contributing to? That you've now, I'm like, oh, wow, that's cool. That's innovative right there. I appreciate that, this reciprocation of energy that we have here. But honestly, like, what are they bringing? If they're bringing nothing or you're struggling to answer that, or if it's something very surface level, like money, or protection, it's like, okay.
Right.
God forbid sex, because they all think that they have the greatest sex. And come on, like, what else are they offering?
Right.
So yeah, ladies, let's start being honest with ourselves and let's start asking those kind of questions.
It's really
don't
important.
Let a man ask you that. Don't let him ask
you
that.
I beg. If he tries it, just X him. So get out my sight.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Jazz was saying, honestly, ask yourself that even if you're alone, you don't have to ask him that, but just make sure that you're analyzing the situation and seeing that he brings true substance, not this weird ass notion of love that they've told us. He says a few nice things to you once every 4 months. He tells you that you look pretty once every 4 months or something. Right. And you're like, well, when he says that makes me feel good. Yeah, but he says that once every 4 months. And his behavior the rest of the time does not imply that he even thinks that. And there's also more to you than your physical. Again, that's not enough, sweetheart. That's not enough to, that's not substance.
Yeah.
That really isn't substance, Yeah. So, ladies, we love you here at The Power of Women, and all our conversations is literally just to help us see how we can grow and really bask in our power as women and bask in our divine feminine essence. And we talk about our relationships with men a lot, not because it's really not even from a man bashing perspective, really. It's really just from a growth perspective. And in order for us just to be more self-aware and be able to just have a lot healthier relationships, because when you can decipher through these things and kind of analyze these things, you're able to interact with people, men and women, in a better, healthier,
much more meaningful
scale.
way.
Yeah, exactly. So thank you guys for joining us. I hope you have enjoyed this. Let us know on Instagram, Twitter at The Power Podcast. Tweet us, comment, send us messages. We'd love to know how you feel, about these topics that we're discussing. And we shall see you again next time. Bye, ladies.
Bye.